I am Love. It's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to 11:11 Mountain Standard Time, Live with Love, and what this channel is about. This this channel, this channel, that's a little bit of what it's about. You are a channel. And it was interesting because recently I was in Sedona and I was working with these other people co-hosting a podcast. And one of the people had said she's not a channel. And many people think that being a channel means that there's some other beings out there that are coming in and speaking through you. That is a version of channeling. The other channel you have is this your intuition. We talked about that the other day. Your that ability to connect with your intuition is when you get a little quiet, or you get a little still, or you get out in nature, or you hop in your car like I am today, because things were there was a lot going on, and I slept a really long time. So um, I needed more rest, right? So your intuition, my intuition was saying, stay in bed longer, stay where you are, and stay still and breathe until whatever you're feeling in your head subsides. Sometimes I think that's like a version of like not being completely back in your body after you go to rest at night. But that's intuition, right? And she was, this lady was speaking on this podcast that she's not a channel. And we were like, later on when we were all together, we're like, no, you're totally a channel. Like, we need people to know that there are different versions of being a channel. You are indeed a channel of like source energy. You're a tuning fork, always attuning to many different things in your environment. Think about how tuning forks work. You hit one and it starts vibrating. This one over here might not be vibrating at all, and then it starts to pick up on the resonance of this one. That's why we talked the other day on the live about, what do you want to resonate into the world? What do you want to bring forth? And how do you do that? And there was a message that came in. I haven't listened to it yet. I will get that up for you guys after this live and do the whole description thing. But it's all about, what are you wanting to resonate within you? What is the world that you want to create in the without? And what kind of energy do you want to encompass on your daily life? What kind of energy do you want to emanate into the world that increases the awareness of the world, increases the awareness that there is more than what we've been told? Hi guys, great to have you here. Going up to Mount Shasta in a few days. Peace and joy. Awesome. Tell people I say hi over there. Some people know me as Gypsy, by the way, because Gysyluv is the handle for Insta. Hi guys. I'm so glad to have you here with me again. I apologize for the long pause, but I wasn't paying, this is where I say I wasn't paying attention to the intuition. I was telling everyone about the intuition, like, hey, it seems like silence is coming in. And then literally the universe was like, zip it. And I'm finding that's coming up for quite a few other people that kind of mirror me in their YouTubing. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to handle it. I talked yesterday about the spirit of the bear and how this whole live really started with spirit animals. I'm not experienced in the shamanic ways, although I've been around people that see themselves and express that they are shamans, and they do the work for shamanism. But what's interesting is the bear came in again. And this morning, as I awoke, and I could feel this, there were a lot of things I was feeling in my body, but I'll get back to that. the bear was coming in again. And I think that I had started doing these lives like last year around August or so. So it hasn't even been like a full year. And here the bear is back. And as I went to this conference in Sedona and I helped out with different things, spirit animals were coming back. In fact, I didn't even want to go into this one class. I switched with someone and I was like, yeah, I did spirit animals last time. I was helping out with that. I'm going to go to this one over here. And still spirit animals came up again and again. And the bear is back. So this might be resonant with you. The bear is back. What does the bear do? If you're finding yourself in a time where you want to kind of not be around a lot of people, where you feel like maybe you need some alone time. Um, as I was looking up this information on the bear, it was asking us to realize that the bear is often a symbol of that. It's the strength, it's the fire within us, it's the ability to be powerful, but also nurturing. Think of a mama bear. Think of how, if the family is in any sort of danger, that mama bear is going to get up and get all grizzly on it, right? To defend, right? But the mama bear will not get all grizzly up on something, some being, unless it's necessary. She will overall use her size and possibly her growl before she even like thinks about getting physical. And that's kind of a lesson for us, is to how can we be powerful and hold our boundaries like the bear, but yet keep our hearts open, not closed off. This is something in particular that has come up a lot in the last couple years for me because I was in a new place. I was dealing with new relationships, and I am very much that person. I don't at this point hold a grudge, although I did feel something in my nervous system the other day when someone had contacted me and I hadn't listened to the message yet. I felt resentment come up, right? Um, so I say, like, I don't hold a grudge, as in, I don't seek to vindicate myself in any way. But there was this thing coming in about community and how we interact with the people in our lives, be it a neighbor or something else, right? And it made me think about, okay, community. There are people sometimes that we will avoid because we're like, oh, we just can't deal with that hot mess, right? Or they may have wronged us, possibly in some way, and we're just like, no. And there is a time for that. There's a time of that solid no boundary that the bear will hold and be like, you're not coming into this space right now, right? But that doesn't mean that the bear won't be walking around in the forest later, possibly see that person that tried to come into its area and like just go after it for just no apparent reason, right? Or hold a grudge. Nature does not hold a grudge. It doesn't quite work that way. Um, Someone said the other day that a deer does not hold a grudge against the wolf. A deer knows that there is a cycle of life out there, of how things work at this time. There's no grudge holding. So that might be coming up for you. If it's coming up for me in different ways, there's different versions that it may come up with for you because we're kind of mirror reflections of each other, and that's why you're drawn here. There's something here for you. It might not be everything. It might be like a little tidbit, and you're like, okay, I got that one thing. That was great. Hey guys, great to have you here. Hey Pac-Man, Kevin Mack. Yeah, I've been gone a while. So, still transitioning, still feeling into, okay, what kind of schedule is this going to look like for the 11/11? Is it feels like it's not going to be every day. So I want to give you guys a good idea of how often it's going to be, because there's this whole bear thing coming in that's asking me to kind of go within and get quiet, because there's what came in this morning was that there's things being let go of. And so as I was feeling the resentment from this one message, I noted it and I was like, wow, that's still there. That's really still there. And why is it still there? And I was like, well, it's because you still love that person. And that's why it's still there. And it was a different kind of love, right? Um, Divine love helped me still keep in touch with that person. After a time, after holding my boundaries and coming back, divine love comes in and says, you can still communicate with this person and be compassionate towards this person, as long as you feel like you energetically are solid and okay. Yeah, that's divine love. The love that we experience and then feel like we lose, that's part of it. Like the resentment, there's like a loss that comes in. So I'm just telling you guys, because you guys see me show up here at 11:11 and you're like, oh, what is she doing? Like, does she have a job? Does she do this? Does she do that? Look at her. What is she doing? Oh, she's in Sedona. Now she's in Colorado. What's up with that? And what I'm just showing you is that there are times where things don't feel like they're all together for me, even though it comes across like, oh, she's look what she's doing. Part of that is I've decided not to live by the rules that I was taught growing up. There was a part of me that got into quantum physics, and it's like, I know that it doesn't have to be this way. We are multidimensional, there are many different timelines, and I get to choose. So, this is what was happening for me this morning. A little bit yesterday, I was like, wow, that's resentment. Why is that resentment? Oh, number two, it feels like there's loss. Why does it feel like there's loss? Well, because I had an expectation. Number three, I had an expectation of how I wanted that to look. Like I was already envisioning a certain kind of life possibly happening with this person's like cooperation, right? This collaboration, right? Come to find out that sometimes people put on that mask of wanting to collaborate or work with you, and then it's not there, and you can tell that it's not there. You can either feel a resentment or you can feel a withdrawal of that person. And it's interesting to me because it's like, one thing I notice, I will say this, the people that have this kind of thing going on where they want to be a part of your life in a certain way, and that doesn't have to be romantic, guys. I'm not talking about necessarily romance here. This could be business, that could be regular friendship, right? um, they want to be there. They want to be that type of person that you can count on, because they themselves want to hold themselves accountable and be the type of person that if someone were in need, they would, if they could help, they would want to be there and assist them, not save them, but like assist in a certain way so that that person can, create some sort of stability in whatever that part of their life is. I've had a lot of friends recently stepping up and being like, love, I got you. I know what you're doing. Like, you're here and you're there, and I know you're called to these different places, and that's why you're going. And I know, like, they're like, it makes no sense. And yet I'm going to help you out in any way that I can help out in these ways. Sometimes this is me just calling up and being like, "Hey, I need information on this stuff. Like, I need I need second eyes on this thing." And which is wonderful when those people step up and they're like, "Yeah, let me take a look at it," or "Yeah, I can help you out with that," right? Communication. So, to circle back, the resentment, I felt a loss, and then, which is lack. And then it was because of expectations of something that I got some information and I was like, all right, this collaboration will work. And then I found out after time, this is not true. This is not true. The person has very good intentions of wanting that collaboration, but also would not like put the full energy needed in to be successful in a collaboration either. So just something to take a note of. Um, Later on, I was like, yeah, I still love this person. Can I still love this person and not hold that resentment? The resentment comes because all of a sudden it feels like it's a loss. Like it's oh, that would have been really nice for all that to come together, right? But the reality is there are a lot of people out there that feel like they're loners. And this particular person is like that as well. But it's strange because they're also part of a community and they're producing a product that the community values. But yet there's a separateness still there. So that's something I'm really able to see a lot of um, when I have a session with someone, when someone decides to have a session with me and things aren't going well in their life. I try and feel into where's the separation? Because when things aren't going well, there's a place where we separate ourselves from the universe, from source, from that God aspect of creation. And we are particles of that creation. Even though we are here in form and the all is all out there, there's not a barrier, there's not a separation, but we think there is, because we're solid, right? And we're like, we're not a part of that. I'm not a part of that person yelling at that person. I'm not a part of, um, I'm not a part of those evil people that are killing people. I'm not a part of the war that's going on. And the truth is, how we are energetically as humans on this plane really affects the earth in many different ways. And we're not just talking about how much trash we make, right? That's a totally separate subject. We're talking about energetically and emotionally. Our weather, our systems, our bodily systems are part of the earth system. That's why I'm always getting to a point within our breath where I'm connecting us and I'm grounding us, I'm rooting us into the technology of the trees, the roots there, and then further into the energetic grid system. This is because we are one. We are whole with this planet. We are part of the consciousness of this planet. And that planet, Mama Gaia, Gaia, she has felt this separation from us. There was a time where there were elemental beings here. All of you people that have a connection to the angelics will also have a connection to fairies and dragons and gnomes, elves, anybody who's had a connection to like Lord of the Rings and seen all of those different ways. There is an inner earth. There are inner earth civilizations. There are other dimensions within dimensions that we are not yet at a resonance to be able to see yet, but it will be coming. You will see in these coming years, 10 to 15 years, there's not only going to be a galactic presence that's more well known by more people, but there will be an elemental presence as the elementals have been kind of like, all right, are they ready yet? Is humanity ready yet? They're getting it in gear. And many times I will get quiet and I will go into this space where I am out in nature, like I was yesterday when I was up on the mountain, and I will connect to the trees. I will connect to the fairies, the elementals, and I will ask, can I bring up this fairy pink energy? Can I bring it up into our atmosphere? Can I spread it throughout the atmosphere onto the earth? Because we're ready. We're there, we're ready. We're getting to that place where We're allowing ourselves to believe in more than what we've been taught. We're going back to childhood almost. And we're going back and we're going, no, no, fairies are real. Elfin people are real. Bigfoot is real. There's so much that we don't see and is here with us. I went to a waterfall in Mount Shasta, Fairy Falls, actually. So the person who's going to Mount Shasta from the chat, Fairy Falls, find out if you want to go there because there are dragons there. And I myself feel energy in a different way. So someone else came up to me and she's like, are you into dragons? She's like, because there is, if you're open to it, there's a dragon here that wants to make itself known to you. And it was a violet dragon, a purple dragon. And I was like, purple dragon, and her name was Violet. And I was like, yes, please tell me, because it helps me know and then tune into dragon energy, because I've always had a thing for dragons. Why? Well, it's because when you have a thing for a specific thing, look around your house, look around your apartment, wherever you are. What do you have multiples of? Color wise, what kind of figurine or statues do you have? That's you on a different conscious level connecting with that type of being and bringing it into your life. Or that type of being is here, I would say already, and saying, hey, hello, I'm right here. Pay attention to me. Are you ready to communicate with me? Can you say hello? Just get to that place where you say hello. I was having a conversation with someone this morning about their lungs. And I was like, put some peppermint oil here, put some on the back. And I was like, speak to your body. And they kind of smiled at me, like a little bit like, woohoo. And I was like, no, seriously, speak to your body, speak to your lungs like they're a part of, like they're a consciousness, like they're part of you. I said, because they're part of you, like they're in you. They're breathing this air for you without you having to even think about it. Connect with your lungs and say, good morning. I would like to expand my lungs further. I would like to be free breathing so that there's no heaviness, but a lightness. And I said, just talk to your body here and there. Even if you feel silly, just be like, what's up, lungs? Hey, I'm noticing you. You're telling me something. I think it's time now for me to breathe more fully, for me to release. By the way, lungs have to do with holding on to grief, possibly old grief from a long time ago. It doesn't have to be right now. And then the lungs will release this grief by feeling the heaviness, by having the person feel the heaviness that's going on. And just pay attention to their overall rest. If a person is going and going and they won't slow down, your body is going to slow you down. So you're going to feel like you have a cold or you have the flu. You're going to feel like there's a loss of energy all of a sudden. You might have to take a nap. That's your body's clue to listen. Hey guys, Joe Coex. Hello. Hello, beautiful to you too. Wonderful to have you guys here. Let me just check out some of the comments here. Emotions create complexity within ourselves. The internal struggle is both learning and answers. Yes. What else do we have here? When we have certain feelings come up, it's good for us to sit with that and wonder, why am I reacting like this? Why did I get triggered? Is it things that is unhealed? This is true. Whoops. There you are. Yeah, it's a good time when things come up in your life and you're like, oh, that's crunchy. And I notice, even myself, I will sit with the crunchy, and then I notice myself without even thinking, I'm grabbing my phone, I'm putting in my earphones to listen to something, and then I stop and I'm like, no, taking out the earphones, putting the phone down. There's something built into our systems on a different conscious level, that egoic self that is like, no, I don't want to deal with this right now. And so because I work with my own awareness, I'm noticing that my hand is doing this. Like all of a sudden, as I go and I scroll and I'm like, no, I'm going to sit with this and I'm going to feel this discontent and ask myself, what is that linked to? When you do this, and you don't have to know you don't have to go back farther, like go and drudge up all this old stuff from earlier in your life necessarily, but you can ask, like I did, what was that? Okay, that's resentment. That's linked to loss. That's a judgment right there. Like, why couldn't you dot, 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 right? Or you said dot, 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 and then you didn't follow through. That one is a hard one for me. Um, I don't like to tell someone I'm going to do something and not follow through. When I couldn't come on here live for a couple days and everything was quiet, and then my conference started and I had my voice back, but now I was in conference mode, right? Helping out. That was hard for me because I'm like, I can't even, without my website up, I can't even like email people and be like, hey, this is happening and I won't be here for a while. I can do it with a post, but a post does not show up right away. But even more so when I have people in my life that say that they're going to show up in a certain way and things happen, I get that things happen, like unusual things. But when someone says they're going to be here in a certain way or want to collaborate in a certain way, and then it turns out that it wasn't necessarily true, it's a difficult one for me because I try to hold to what I say I'm going to bring forth and offer. It's very important to me. Like when my hair appointments, right? The conscious cuts. It's really important for me to stay in the span of time. And I will even book space in between time because sometimes people need a little bit longer if there's extra emotional things happening. Or if they're not opening up in the session, we could be done almost with the session. And then as we're checking out with the full payment, all of a sudden they're opening up. And I'm like, whoa, this is happening. I'm like, wow, this is really happening. So then I have to kind of message the next person and say, hey, I apologize. My session is run over time. Are you okay with this much time after, or do I need to reschedule and give them the full benefit of their time as well? So, yeah, how we sit with what comes up is a very good point. I have someone here, Ken Max, talking about the grudge, human idea in action, out of fear and protection. It is. All of that is out of fear and protection. I woke up this morning and I had this fear in my body. And I noticed it. I was breathing through it. And as I had this fear in my body, I asked myself, am I in a safe place? That was question number one. And the answer was yes, I am in a safe place. Do I have my needs currently met? The answer was yes. Some of this fear came up because of uncertainty, because I'm not exactly where I want to be, right? We've all been there where we're like, this isn't exactly where I want to be. And then I have to remind myself of our multidimensionality. And I can decide to see the not knowing as uncertainty. Feel into that for a moment, the word uncertainty. And I think back to like when I first started college. And I think back to who I was, out on my own, figuring it out, job wise, found the place before I found the job. Had an idea of the job, but I found the place first. And that was kind of key. Like, where do I want to be? And that's a big question for me now. I am more traveler than I have been in many years. And there's an uncertainty. So I can choose. You can choose when there's uncertainty in your life. When there's uncertainty in your life, can you see it as, what if I saw this as an adventure. Think about the word adventure. In adventure, we don't always know what the adventure is going to be about. Even when you choose to take an adventure like scuba diving, going to the beach, going on a paddleboard, part of your adventure could be that you completely flip off the paddleboard or that you decide to jump in and go for a swim. Something says, get in the water, swim, and you do it. You don't necessarily want to get wet that day, but yet you get in and you swim. Why? Because it's an inner something knowing, telling you to get into the water. You know, you go to the beach. Maybe you're not into the waves, yet something says, get a little closer to the waves. Jump up and down in the waves. Jump over the surf as it hits your feet. Why? Because your inner self, your inner child self, is also trying to bring in fun and joy and happiness. And a lot of think about like when you laugh wildly, like exuberantly, you're with a friend or something happens, and sometimes it might not even make sense. And the laughter just starts coming and you're rolling around and you don't even know where it's not even that funny, but both people are laughing. And all of a sudden it's hilarious. And that's part of the adventure, the not knowing, the surprises that pop up. What if you see it as a surprise instead of an uncertainty? That doesn't mean that your body, your nervous system will not react sometimes. But as we're training our nervous system to respond instead of react out of survival mode and protection, like this person said, things become easier. Not as much seems to go in a disarray in our outside life. Recently, I was given great news about something, that there's a delay, which gives me now extra time to really feel into which direction I want to go with this particular thing, right? Before, it would have been like someone could have said, this is a have to, they gave you a date, this is what it is. But something in me said, no, that's not what it is. I've heard some information that tells me that there's extra time. If I contact this person, there can be extra time for what is needed for right now, for me to take action in a particular way. And I keep even asking myself, do I need to take action? And if there's action taken, what type of action? And Sedona gave me a lot of different elements, scenarios in what action I could possibly take. Sometimes we just need the time, right? The time to get a little quiet. Just going to look at the comments here. Glad this stuff is resonating with you guys. This stuff. This beautiful consciousness awakening stuff. Hello, California. David. David, are you the David I met when I was in Laguna? Just out of curiosity. If you are, there was a beautiful person in Laguna that I met named David that actually saw that I like to do this type of wire work. And he's like, let me introduce you to this other artist, this like family of artists, and see if you're digging their work. Because he's like, I think you would like their work. And he was right. I totally would like to create something similar. And this person that I barely knew bought me this pendant so that I would kind of have an example, like an idea of the essence of it and how I could create that. It would be my own pattern, but how I could create that essence. It was very cosmic. So it gives me a little bit of inspiration. His idea was to inspire me. That's probably not all his ideas, but his idea was to inspire me. I don't know if it's you, David, that bought me that, but it was a really nice gesture to be able to show me around to these different places in Laguna, and bought me lunch for my birthday. It was a different kind of birthday that I was celebrating, a rebirth. And yeah, it was really nice of him. I was really appreciative. Occasionally I keep in contact with that person. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Jeff. Okay, someone has something here. Trying to see it. It's getting brighter. Oh, you know what? I gotta move you guys. I just realized. Okay, I'm gonna move you here because the sun's coming in and I don't want it to disrupt the live. Sorry if you're like looking up my nose. Yeah, Kevin talks about past events and ideas that are stored in the subconscious or been activated by what is external. Yeah. So this is like really the ending of the wood snake, the shedding. We have an idea of when things come up for us. I'm going to put this down for a second here. When things, sorry about that. That probably didn't sound good. When things are coming up, we think there's something wrong. I mean, even this morning, I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, is it the place I'm in right now? Because it could be the place. It's a place that just doesn't resonate extremely well with me. It resonates about 40% of the time, maybe 35% of the time, depending. 3636 on the clock. Can you hear me? My phone did get too hot. It got hot in here. Can anybody hear me? I think it's just continuing where we were. Hi, guys. All right. So if you're here, give me a thumbs up in the comments. That would be helpful. Hello. It would help if I put my car. I basically went around the parking lot and put my phone outside my window to cool it off. We're back. Cool. Thanks, Pac-Man. So I got a little distracted what we were talking about. Oh, yes. So I woke up with this fear, and it's because I'm in a place where I feel like I want to be someplace different, possibly. So I asked myself, where do I want to be right now? Currently, the answer is Colorado, because I have different things happening. I did talk to someone up in Breckenridge the other day, and the other service that I offer, by the way, because I travel where I travel, there are people who have houses. They also have pets. And those, I'm more of like a long-term house sitter, but I offer that when I go to certain places. Now, it's just up, Breckenridge is full of houses that are empty like half the time, or people that travel back and forth between places. So you might find me in Breckenridge in like a couple weeks, possibly, because someone's going out of town. Hello, man. Hi. How you doing? Happy Saturday to you as well. I'm glad you guys are back with me. You stuck with me. You guys are awesome. You guys know, right? You guys know my phone sometimes gets hot or that I have too many windows open. I love you for being patient with me. So, the fact that we had a little quiet time tells me it's probably time for us to breathe together and have some of that kind of time. Just an overview today, we talked about any emotions that might be coming up for you. Not to give yourself a hard time about it, but to really feel them and move through them. Don't try and distract yourself from them, as I was doing, where I was subconsciously trying to put my earbuds in and like scroll through something, and I put that down, right? The bear, the spirit of the bear. We have a bear frequency that might play for us. I'm not sure. It was playing for us just a bit ago. There we go. The bear frequency, which has to do with boundaries. It has to do with your bear spirit animal hanging out with you, asking you to possibly quiet down. get to a space at least where you can kind of just be with yourself. Maybe you're contemplating things, but maybe you're just kind of in that space where you're giving yourself time to be you more than anything. A little bit of self-care. I'm going to self-care myself by putting some of this pink in my blonde hair. Later on, I have website stuff to do, I have other things to do, and yet I'm like, nope, I will be fully taking care of myself before I even start going there and coming up with a schedule that I can meet all of you beautiful people through my memberships. That will be a lot of fun. The audio is out of sync. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe don't look at me and just listen to me for a little bit. Could be you, it could be my location as well. Sometimes that happens. Starlink has been suggested to me, which I would love to do that. Once I have my website up, that will be something that's easier. Hello, Jason. Good to have you here. Where are you from? So you're going to hear my car for a moment. I want to give us a little bit of quiet, a little bit of intimate time, if you will, so that you can hear this frequency. If it will play for me. I'm not sure if it'll play for me. I've never tried to be live with you guys and try to adjust my connection. Let's see. I'm just going to give it a go. If not, we will just breathe on our own. And you guys can just know that the bear frequency is with you now. I know why it's not working. I think I know. I think I know. Let's see. We'll see if it's this one. My phone, my original phone, took an adventure without me a couple months back. And ever since then, I've been trying to figure different things out. I'll try one more. So, I'm glad you guys have joined me today. Can everyone hear me clearly? Even if the words are not syncing up, can you hear me clearly? Hey, Kevin. Yeah, pink streak. Oh, other colors. Yes, I actually had very rainbow bright hair at one point. I could decide to do purple. Purple and pink are ones that fade out very well. Turquoise, not so much, although I do love it. I find that what I find out is that the colors that I seem to choose at the time are very resonant with like a frequency. Is it frequency? Vibration? There are different colors that resonate, have a resonance, that have healing. So there must be some reason. I mean, pink is definitely associated with the heart chakra. Like the violet flame, the threefold flame is pink, love, wisdom, gold, and power, blue. I believe that's the scenario there. So there must be some reason why I'm sporting those particular colors recently. Even my shoes are pink, and my bag has pink flowers on it. I was never a pink person before. All right, so we're going to breathe together. The frequency of the bear is intended behind us in the background. And what I want to tell you about the frequency of the bear. As you meet this animal spirit guide within you, surrounding you, it is about strength and power, this totem, courage, healing, and strong grounding forces. Think about the bear. I saw a picture and it inspired me to want to do some artwork where there was the two legs of the bear as if standing up. And in the space between the legs. This was a bear as big as a tree. Think about the redwoods and the sequoias that you can drive through. And in that space was the silhouette of a person. So I want you to kind of breathe into that with me. Picture yourself as you are, and maybe picture yourself as an energetic form without gender. Maybe you're a certain color. We were just talking about colors in my hair, right? Maybe you're a certain color. What kind of color are you feeling today? If you're feeling black, know that you are encompassing all the colors combined together. It's not necessarily like a depressing color. Feel the lightness that you are. If you were a lighter color, what color would that be? And picture that silhouette between the legs of a bear, as big as a tree, as if you're in the redwoods themselves, because the redwoods themselves, the sequoias, are ancient. Ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom and technology runs through those trees, standing tall throughout many storms. And most of the time, we feel like we're possibly in the eye of the storm. But when we're in the eye of the storm, that's where the stillness is, right? There might be a lot happening in the world that we don't like. There might be a lot happening in our own worlds, but we have a choice within our own worlds. How are we going to work with this? If I do not feel comfortable in this place that I am, but I wish to still have communication with certain ones, I will experiment. Okay, how does it feel to be here for this amount of time? Okay, how does it feel to go and be in a different space, my own studio space, and then come and be with these different people in a different way, right? There's a choice. There's also a choice to completely go for a time and come back. That's what I did recently. It was necessary for me to completely go to Sedona. And then, was it necessary to come back? There were a couple things to handle here in Colorado, regular things to take care of. So I also have to pay attention to my well being. I can't show up to you guys talking about well being and consciousness and expanding more of your thought forms beyond the limits that we put on ourselves, because we do put them on ourselves. There aren't others limiting us. We often like to think it's other things limiting us, and sometimes it's a part of it. But when it comes down to it, we have to see different scenarios and try different scenarios. When things are feeling heavier, there's a way to bring in the light, and that looks different for different people. Sky blue would look good with my eyes. Skin color, blue sky. Yeah, actually, sky blue. I haven't done one that light in color. I've worked with the turquoise because of the like slight green in there, which is kind of cool. It's like the ocean. Sky blue. It's a thought. Sky blue would definitely fade out well. You're correct. I'll have to look into that. Light blue. I've got a couple people going blue. That might be kind of a fun thing to do with people, right? Like if I don't have an attachment to a certain color, be like, so guys, what frequency are you feeling? Are you feeling blue? Are you feeling green? I've never done a deep emerald green. It looks a little bit nicer though on skin color that's more like olive skin toned or very pale skin tone. All right, guys. So let's take a moment. We're almost at an hour's time. So as I take this breath, let us breathe together. Let us breathe, connect in a different way. Take a moment. Connect with that bear frequency. Hand on the heart if you can. This just kind of tells you, hey, body, we're doing something different right now. We're going to tune in. We're going to breathe. We're going to take a sacred pause, bear pause, at the top. We're going to hold, and then we're going to release all that air out. And when we breathe together, we're going to breathe through the belly first, kind of a Buddha belly breath. We're going to let that air rise up to the top. We're going to feel it expand in the chest, and we're going to pause. What does this do? This is going to equalize your nervous system. No matter what you've got going on today, no matter where you have to be when this live is over, right now, you are here with me. You are here with all of us, creating a connection, tuning forks, all tuning in to this channel of YouTube, this channel right here, this channel right here within you. We're all resonating in that oneness. So we're going to go into that field, that 0 point, that almost place of no thing as we breathe. Keeping in mind that we have the spirit animal of the bear with us now. Feel into that feminine side of you. Men, women, your feminine, your masculine. Feel into that for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And breathe out. Feel what occurs in your body just from that breath. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Feel. Feel the energy. Any thoughts that come in, allow them to float on out. Float in ideas of peace, calm, stillness. Feel the feminine within you. This is your beingness, your childlike fun, your silliness, your laughter, your ability to laugh at yourself for being so serious all the time. Feel. This is your ability to see a flower and decide to go and smell that flower. To pick a flower and give it to another. To bring joy to another as you bring joy to yourself through your own senses. Breathe in and breathe out. Now feel the fire of the feminine within you. Feel that strength and the softness all at once. Breathe in and breathe out. Now feel into your masculine. Your masculine is your ability to create strong foundations, your ability to take action on the feelings or emotions that your inner self is guiding you towards. This could be through creation of a new project. This could be the implementation of tasks. How do you know that your masculine is in balance? In balance. You're able to balance between the being, the rest that you need, the feminine side of the rest, the nurturing oneself, the parenting of oneself, the self-care, the self-love. The masculine is able to take the steps to bring those in action. The masculine will come in and not overrun everything, not order, not push, but a healthy masculine will notice that for the doing to be done effectively and in balance, there also needs to be a being and a this is interesting. So the masculine is the container. The masculine takes the lead, makes the plan, and takes the steps forward. These are not so, as I was saying, my 12-12 alarm, the masculine is the container. The masculine is the one taking the steps. These are not necessarily huge steps, they could be little steps towards action. But the masculine in balance works with the feminine. And what's interesting is what's coming through is this phrase that I've heard before from a movie. The man is the head of the house, but the woman is the neck that turns the head. And why this is interesting is we can kind of think about it as in the feminine and the masculine. Without the neck, we would have this limited perspective, correct? And that's often what happens when the masculine is overpowering. It's like we have blinders on, and this is all that we see. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So the feminine comes in and allows for more perspective, more seeing, the ability to see all that is in our peripheral, right? So when that balance comes in, take a deep breath and release. When the masculine and feminine work as one, there is the balance of creation within you. I'm going to say that again. There is the balance of a creation within you. You are able to change worlds. If you are experiencing something right now that is less than desirable, there are choices. There is courage needed. The bear comes in to show courage, to show strength, and the ability to go into the unknown.
that is also coming in. The ability to go out, the ability to turn things topsy-turvy, possibly, which is uncomfortable for a moment. And then when you say, stand yourself up again, there is an orientation, a reorientation that happens in disorientation. So when you notice yourself in a disorientation, know that you have the ability to reorient your direction. What's coming into my awareness is a ship on rocky waters where, okay, another movie coming in, a shrimp boat, Forrest Gump. Okay, so there's a storm that is possibly in your fields and you're holding on for dear life, and your boat might be keeping together, it might be falling apart, but still you remain strong. Still you navigate these waters. And then the storm subsides and there's stillness. And then there's ability to see with new eyes all that is around you. New eyes, new ears to hear, new perspectives to explore. What seemed uncertain before, now there is a clarity that comes. There is a new adventure awaiting you. All are preparing for a new adventure. Allow the new adventure to come forth to you. It's knocking. It's knocking at your doors. Allow the door to open. Allow yourself the adventure that awaits. Humanity is at a turning point, and these energies coming forth in April, in springtime, they are about a new. They are about a resurrection from the old. I'm burping as that happens. A resurrection, release of the old into the new. It will be an important time in your lives. This energy is here for you now. It is circulating in a different way for all of you. Allow the ride. Allow the ride as if you've been going down a river in a raft and you've found yourself in the water and you're not sure what's going on. Your raft is floating away. And instead of grasping for everything around you, you allow yourself to flow with the water. You allow yourself to be brought under, to pop back up, to swirl in the eddies, to swirl out of the eddies, and to continue floating until in your awareness you feel just the opportune points where you are no longer fighting, grasping, or struggling, but you feel into the consciousness of the flow around you, and you know that this is your time. This is your time to come back up on the land, to see where you have floated to take in your surroundings, to know that you are safe. You are safe. In the upheaval that must occur on this planet, in the systems that must deteriorate, break down. You are solid within your foundation. You know deep within you what you are capable of. Your fire, as we go into the year of the fire horse, this will be all happening very quickly. It is not a time to second guess yourself anymore. This is a time to listen with new ears, to see with new eyes, and to swap your senses, allowing yourself to hear and see through that hearing, to open those eyes and hear where your next step is, to question all of the things you tell yourself and all of the things that others want to influence you with. Always come back to here. Here is your truth. Here is the allspark of creation, which you are a part of. You are a part of something. You are a significant cog in this place. Your light is an anchor point, revolutionizing in this evolution of consciousness. You are here for this adventure. You signed up for this adventure, and you get to choose which direction based on where your happiness lies. That is your true path. Follow your happiness. Sense into your body. If your body is not feeling joy or happiness, be courageous. Shift. Find the areas where shift is possible. You do not have to wait for one thing to happen before you go on to the next. This is a dissonance spoken of in your educational system. It is not 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. You get to choose what order, as this one talked of, how she chose the place she wanted to live before she actually found her job. This may be different for others. There might be other things that are more important to them. It could be family. And then they choose their job. Or they choose their passion. As they work their job, their passion is at their forefront. For that old job may not be around anymore. It may not fit with them anymore. Pay attention to the resonance and how your body speaks to you. Put yourself in states where you can hear the resonance of what your body is speaking, of what your soul, rather, is speaking to you. Listen to your soul. The soul will not guide you in the wrong direction. You cannot take a wrong step. There is no wrong step. Only new opportunities for expansion, for the unstuckness to occur, pull yourselves out of the mud. Those of you who have felt this stuckness, pull one foot out and then another foot out. Shake it off and begin. It is time for humanity to begin anew. You can either go along with the flow, or you can decide not. It is fully your choice. However, eventually, there will be a dislodging that occurs for all those who felt they wanted to stay where it is comfortable. It is the natural way. It is not natural for the energy to become stagnant. And you will feel this in your bodies. Your nervous system will let you know if you are in a place that you've allowed for this to happen. We say allow because there is always choice. Always choice. Take a deep breath. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Yes, this is a very stern message. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Allow yourself the shift. Allow yourself the change. Allow yourself the new perspective. And know that whatever choice you make is perfectly fine. And you are perfectly loved for all that you do, all that you choose. You are always loved. Above all, loved. Take a deep breath in and release. The last thing that comes through is love yourselves. Love yourselves. Okay. That was rather a stern message. I ask questions when messages come through sometimes. I try not to get in the way, but there is a part of me sometimes that's like, ooh. And so they were acknowledging the sternness that I was feeling in myself. It wasn't a scolding, but it was a very firm, take care of yourselves. Listen to yourselves. Take the necessary actions when it is time to take those actions. Do not hold yourself back, is what I was getting, from the actions that you are being led to. Land has been coming up a lot lately. Again, communities have been coming up, like those with the ability to create communities. Cooperation is going to be at a higher scale in these coming years. So this is what came into me this morning, finding the area where you feel there is community possible, because everybody will have different skills that they bring to the table, what they excel in to create a thriving community. We are not here to do it on our own. I have two very dear friends in Sedona, And as I hang out with either one of them, they're bringing forth community, but it's not like this yet. It's kind of like this, like they're doing their own things. And when you look at this, I mean, look at it. It looks like a fist, right? They're doing their own things. They're here doing this, they're here doing that. They're bringing both things to the table. And what I keep getting a sense for every time I go there is that this is needed, a joining. And maybe it's not those two communities, maybe it's them with others. But this is what's being asked of humanity now, is this joining. We're going to see more and more of this. It's going to be really hard for those people that feel like they don't want to be a part of something. But deep down, deep down, we do want to be a part of something that's thriving. When life is thriving, we are thriving, and we do want to be a part of this, right? So, I'm sorry for all the interruptions with the live. Hopefully that came through because my eyes were closed. I have no idea. But thank you. Thank you for showing up here with me. And I will figure out kind of a schedule as to what's being asked of me to get a little quiet. At the conference, I was told to write the book. Write the book. What book? Exactly. I don't know. Write the book. That's what's happening. Write the book. And so there may be times where I'm not here as often on the live. So I will take time today and I will feel into what that looks like. Is it twice a week that the lives will happen? Is it 3 times a week? I will figure it out because I do want to see you guys. I want to see your faces, and I want to do this through Zoom so that I can work with you guys on other things, other movements, other vibrations that are just waiting for you. It's really all just waiting for you. And I have lots to bring forth. I'm very excited about it. I haven't had a solid schedule in a while, so that's new for me. So please be patient with me. My battery's asking to be recharged. My car is talking to me. I love all of you. As always, I am, we are one. One breath, one life, one light, one heart. Find a way in this life to unstick and start the motion. Start the motion in the direction that you're feeling called to. Trust the motion. All will be okay. Trust the motion. Even my digestion right now, everything's moving around. There's a lot of release happening energetically. Stay with it. I'm here with you. I'm always here with you. We're always connected. And there's never a loneliness. You're never alone as much as we feel like we are sometimes. We are supported. And you will see, as you trust, you will see the different areas that the universe will support you in. Angels are all around us. Fairies, dragons, galactics, the all that there is, creation within us. Connect. I will see you again on Monday. I will see you on Monday at 11:11 Mountain Standard Time for a little bit of energetic work, vibration, and breath. Enjoy your day. I love you.